ओके. ओके, आता झालं का म्यूट ओपन झालं आता? ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह ट्विचेस और ओके. इथे रेकॉर्ड झालं. हॅलो. हॅलो, ऐकू येतंय सगळ्यांना? हॅलो.
Yes, ma'am.
So let us we start with the Agaricus muscaris. It is the homeopathic therapeutic in the eye complaint, the objective symptom and the subjective symptom. The objective symptom, as we see the before, that which are seen in the patient, what patient when patient come in our clinic. So what we see in objectively in a patient, that is the twitches in or off the lid, contracted palpable pressure without a swelling. There is very little in appearance of inflammation. There is no much inflammation seen in the agarix. A twitching of in the eyeball, often painful while reading, and left myosis. Subjective symptoms. The subjective symptoms are defined as these are the symptoms when patients feel subjectively, when patients feel innerly and tell us that I feel that there is beating, itching, jerking in the lid on walking, squinting, conjunctiva is red, inflamed evening, burning and dryness in the evening on looking up, pressure, heaviness, difficult to open the eyes, and itching in the can have photophobia. So these symptoms included in agaricus. So agaricus patient feels subjectively that there is a beating, there is a itching, there is a jerking in the lid on waking, and there is a squinting, conjunctiva is red, inflamed, but there is no much inflammation in seen in agaricus. But we can see the patient's lids are twitches. There is a contracted palpable fissure, and there is a twitching of the eyeball, then the twitching of the eyelids also. It is also used in the left myosis. So when we see in the agaricus, the vision of the patient as we see in the agaricus, it is a dim vision, as though a fog. There is a, as we see, the patient cannot see with the vision clearly. It is dim vision, and there is a fog around the eye, or he cannot see clearly, or as if the hairs or feathers were before the eyes, with sensation as though the lids would adhere at the corners. And evening. The characteristic. The paralysis of motor nerve is one of the leading remedies for the locomotor ataxia. So, when we see the characteristics of Agaricus muscaris, the characteristics is the paralysis of the motor nerve, and it is the one of the leading remedies for locomotor ataxia. Then clinically, when we see the clinically, there is a chronic granular or follicular conjunctivitis with dryness and loss of power of the lid. So it is a very grateful remedy and very useful remedy for the chronic granular and follicular conjunctivitis. When we see the Agaricus muscaris is made up of toadstool, that is its common name is toadstool, that is the bug Agarica. The fungus contains a severe toxic compound and it is best known as the muscarine. The symptoms of poisoning do not develop at once, usually 12 to 14 hours elapse before the initial attack. and there is a no antidote treatment entirely symptomatic. Agaricus also acts as an intoxicant to the brain, producing more vertigo, delirium than alcohol. So it is followed by sopor and lower reflexes. So agaricus, it is a more useful remedy in the chorea and twitching. Twitching is mostly during the sleep. So it is a great remedy for eyes with the reading difficult as a type of sin to move, to swim, vibrating specters, double vision. Double vision is also we see in the gelsemium. Then there is a deep flickering, asthenopia from a prolonged strain, is spasm of accommodation, twitching of lids and twitching of eyeball like a codeine. There is a margins of lids are red, each burn and agglutinate, and inner angle are very red. So these are the key feature of the agaricus. Then second one is belladonna. Belladonna is a polycase remedy. As we know, the common name of the belladonna is a deadly nightshade. So when we see the objective, so when we see the clear appearance of the patient and objectively we see in the patient in our clinic, so it is seen is as the pupils are dilated, sluggish and immobile, dilated. The eyes are red, lids are margin, are congested and inflamed. Conjunctiva congested, inflamed. Lid droops, twitch, are puffy, styes, pimples, pustules. Eyes are dry. There is no tears present in a belladonna. There is no mucus and tears are increased. So this is also used in an increased ocular tension with the fundus congested, discongested, edges not distinct, retina slightly hazy, and eyes when we see the patient's eye. So patient eye when we see that it is the protruding, it is bright and staring and swollen with a red face. As the redness is a key feature of the belladonna. It is the very inflammatory remedy, redness, swelling, swallowing, congestion. It is the main characteristic feature of the belladonna, as we see in the homeopathic materia medica. So when we see these are all symptoms are present in the patient of the belladonna. So we can treat easily and identify easily that this is a belladonna patient, that this patient require a belladonna. Then the subjectively, what the patient feels subjectively of the belladonna. There is a photophobia, eyes feel dry. As we see, there is a no more secretions in the belladonna. So eyes feel dry. Stiffness, aggravation from motion. There is a burning heat, pressive pain in or about or the back of the eyes. There is sharpness, neuralgic aching, throbbing, pains come on and passes off quickly. So this is also a key feature of belladonna. There all the symptoms are passes off and on quickly, very quickly. The patient comes, pains comes and goes quickly. The eyes, in the eyes, there is a smarting, itching, feel tired. There is tiredness, weakness, heaviness, and tender to patient. Tender to pressure that even the patient cannot touch the eye. When we see the patient, when we just examine the eye of the patient cannot uh, agree for to touch it, that it is so much tender to pressure. When the vision of the belladonna patient is seen, it is a dim vision. Mostly the blur, acuity decrease, there is erythropsia, everything he looks at seems there. Then there is a halo around the candlelight, partly colored, partly predominating. At the times, the light seems broken into the rays. There is a photopsis, flashes, and bright spark. So when we see the belladonna, generally belladonna act on the every part of the nervous system, producing a active congestion, furious excitement, and perverted special senses, twitching, convulsion, pain. It has a marked action on the vascular system, skin, gland. Belladonna always associated with the hot, red, flushed face, glaring eyes. Glaring eyes is also key feature of belladonna. Then there is the throbbing carotid excitement of the mental state, hyperesthesia of all the senses, delirium, restlessness, sleep, convulsive movement. There is a dryness of mouth and throat with the aversion to water. So as we see, the belladonna, there is a very aversion to water. Belladonna not drink of water, and so there are no secretion, there are totally dryness, dryness of mouth and throat. Then neuralgic pain that comes and goes suddenly, like oxytocin. Oxytropes also have this symptom that neuralgic pain in the eye which comes and goes. It comes on and passes off quickly. There is a heat, redness, throbbing and burning. So it is a great children remedy. Epileptic spasm contained by followed by nausea, vomiting. There is a scarlet fever, prophylactic. In these, there is used a 13% potency. So belladonna, there is also have a air sickness, and there is a no thirst with the anxiety and fever, and it stands for violence of attack and suddenness of the onset. So belladonna is a very great and useful remedy in the eye complaint. Then Calcarea calf. As we see, Calcarea calf is a deep acting remedy. It is a polycase remedy. It is a very useful remedy on clinical basis. So when we see the calcarea calf, there is a swelling. There is a swelling and redness of the lid. When we see the patient's eyelid, there is a swelling and redness of the lid. The patient sensitive to light. The calcarea calf patient is very sensitive to light. He cannot. Uh, uh, hello, hello. The calcarea calf patient is very sensitive to light. The lacrimation in the open air and early in the morning. The spots and ulcer on cornea. There are lacrimal duct closed from exposure to cold, easy fatigue of the eye, the farsightedness, itching of lids, swollen, chronic dilatation of pupil. There is a cataract. It is also useful remedy in the cataract. So there is a dimness of the vision as looking through a mist. There is a very dimness of the vision that patient feels that he looking through the mist. There is a lacrimal fistula and worse by mental and physical exertion and better by lying. As we know the belladonna, as we know the calcarea calf. So let us we see the calcarea calf, and in the calcarea calf there is a no, Kalpika ka patient cannot cover this mental and physical exertion. He cannot able to stand with this. She is also feel better by lying also. So when we see the description of Kalkiria calf, it is a very flatty, flabby, fair lady with the swelling and redness of lid, and there is a very sensitive to light. When we put a torch on light torch, then he told that there is a please ma'am, don't put torch in our lights. And there is a lacrimation in open air with the early in the morning. So Calcarea craft, it is the carbonate of lime. So we generally see the introduction of Calcarea craft. This is a great Hahnemannian antisodic as a constitutional remedy per excellence. As a chief action, it is centered in the vegetative sphere. Impaired nutrition being a keynote of this action, they act on the gland, skin, bones, eyes, and there is an increased local and general perspiration, swelling of gland, scrofulous and rachitic condition, generally offer phthisis, like arsenic iode, tuberculinum. It covers the tickling cough, fleeting chest pain, nausea, acidity, and dislike of fat. Then gelsemium out breathe easily, but belladonna is not, and calcarea is also not. A jaded state, there is a mental and physical exertion cannot cover the calcarea carb due to the overwork. There is the complaint of the patient are increased due to the mental and physical exertion and also due to the overwork. There is abscess in the deep muscle, the polypi and exostosis. It is also useful remedy in the pituitary and thyroid dysfunction. Then the eyes are as we see there is eyes are very sensitive, lacrimation, and the spots and ulcer on the cornea is a very keynote feature of calcarea carp. There is a spot and ulcer on the cornea, and the most important are the modalities of calcarea carp. That is worse by mental and physical exertion, overwork, and better by the lying. There is also, with the mental and physical exertion, it is also works from the ascending, cold dinner, every form, water, washing, moist air, wet weather during a full moon, standing. And as we see, it is calcarea carp patient is better by lying. It is better by also climate and lying on a painful side. Next one is carbonium sulfuratum. So carbonium sulfuratum, as we see, the carbonium sulfuratum, it is common name of this is alcohol sulfurase. That is the bisulfide of carbon. This drug has a deep and disorganizing action as an immense range of action judging from the symptomatology. Very useful in patients broken down by abuse of alcohol. Sensitive patients are worse from cold and wasted muscle and skin and mucous membrane. Aesthetic, especially affinity of eyes, chronic rheumatism and sensitive and cold. Lack of vital heat, diarrhea every 4 to 6 weeks. Paralysis with intense congestion of nerve centers, taps, sensory difficulties in limb. There is also impotence sciatica comes within a therapeutic sphere of this remedy. Chronic palmism, diminished sensibility of arms, hand and feet. Peripheral neuritis is also seen in the calcarea carbonium cells. So we see this is the introduction of carbonium cell. So carbonium cell is also used in the other cases, but when we see the eye symptom, there is a myopia, asthenopia, and dyschromatopsia. There is a cloudiness and atrophy of the optic disc and central scotoma for a light and red, and green, not for a white. So the patient can see the light and red and green, but not for white. Optic neuritis and advancing towards atrophy. Their arteries and veins are congested. So the congestion is also present in the carbonium cell. There is a retinal congestion, the optic, but there is retinal congestion, but optic this is a pain. So this is the main symptom of the carbonium cell. Everything seem a fog. In the Kalkiyaka, we see that everything is seen in a mist, and in this, everything seen in a fog. So patient's vision are the dim. Patient sees that there is a fog in front of the eyes, and vision are greatly impaired. There is a color blindness. Carbonium self is better in open air and worse after bathing. These are sensitive to warm and damp weather. As we see the modalities of carbonium sulf, it is better in open air and worse also in after the breakfast bathing, sensitive to warm and damp weather. Then conium. Conium is also deep acting folic acid remedy of homeopathic materia medica. It is also called as the poison hemlock. The poison hemlock is a common name of a conium. So when we see the patient with the photophobia, lacrimation in excessive corneal pustules, dim-sighted words, artificial light on closing the eyes with sweats, paralysis of ocular muscles, in superficial inflammation as a phylactecular conjunctivitis and keratitis. Also, conium has a great action when the slightest ulceration or abrasion will cause the intense photophobia. Conium works by lying down and turning on rising in bed and better in dark, motion and pressure. So when we see the patient of the conium, so there is a photophobia. Photophobia with excessive lacrimation. The excessive lacrimation and photophobia is a key feature of conium. So it is a present in every patient of the conium. So we can also easily identify the patient of the conium with the excessive lacrimation and photophobia. And the slightest ulceration or abbreviation will cause the intense photophobia is also a key feature of conium. Then we see as the introduction of the conium, it is an old remedy and it is rendered classified by the plantographic description of employment in its dead scrotes. The ascending paralysis it produces, ending in death by failure of respiration. Conium is act easily when there is a weakness of body, mind, trembling, and palpitation, and great debility in the morning. It is also act on arteriosclerosis, carium of sternum, enlarged gland, act as a glandular system, engorgement, and induration, altering its structure like a scrofulous and cancerous condition. Tonic after grief, insomnia of many and multiple neuritis. So it is also used in the ascending paralysis, and it is the mostly the glandular remedy act on the glands also. Then Euphrasia officinalis. As we see the Euphrasia, so Euphrasia is the eye bright. Eye bright is a common name of Euphrasia officinalis. And in the euphrasia, when we see the objective symptom of the patient, so when we see the patient's eye, it is a conjunctival injection. It is the lids or their margins are swollen and red. So eyelids and their margins are swollen. There is the inflammation of eyelids. So their eyelid becomes swollen and red, and there is profuse acrid lacrimation. The profuse acrid lacrimation with the bland coryza is the characteristic and very keynote feature of Euphrasia officinalis. So it is a very important feature. There is a profuse and acrid lacrimation. Then subjectively, though subjective that what the patient feel that subjectively of euphrasia. The first one is the photophobia, and eyes are very sensitive to candlelight. There is a frequent inclination to blink, feeling as if cornea were covered with obscure vision, and obliges him frequently to close and press the lids together. So when we see the eye bright, that is the Euphrasia officinalis. Then we see the what is the euphrasia. So euphrasia is manifest itself in inflammation and conjunctival membrane, especially producing the profuse lacrimation. The patient is better in open air. Then there is a catarrhal infection of mucous membrane, especially the eyes and nose. So it is a very essential and important remedies of eyes and nose. There is a profuse acrid lacrimation with the bland coryza, worse in the evening, and having of offensive and mucus. So when we see the tears of euphrasia patients are hot and biting. Their lids are burnt and itch. There are red margins, feels dry. In eye burning, there are beating, burning, itching pain, and obliges of frequent weakening. The vision of the euphrasia patient is sometimes dim and though a veil in the evening. There are blur vision. Blur vision as better by weeping in the eyes or winking. Then the characteristic feature of euphrasia consists of it resembles the mercury in acridity. As we know, the Mercury group is famous for his acridity, and the euphrasia is also have the acridity of its discharges, but its discharges are thick and excoriating, while those of Mercury are thin and acrid. As we know, the Mercury group is very famous for its acridity, but their discharges are thin and acrid. And that of the Euphrasia discharges are very thick. Acridity is present, also present in Euphrasia, but there is a thickness, and in Mercury there is a